Hey guys, welcome to this video. As you might have seen from the title, I will be answering your questions on a question box that I posted on Instagram a few weeks ago on my Cambridge application and acceptance. Now, I'm aware that a lot of my subscribers are also from outside of Indonesia, and in the last video that I created on my story on like how I got into Cambridge, that was in Bahasa Indonesia, and I will be making another version which is in English, just because like with non-Indonesians there are some context that I need to explain that I didn't explain in that video. And so yeah, for today's video I will just be doing it in English so that more people could understand. Now, I do apologize for like the weird lighting. I know I only have like a small thing here, so I have to make do with that. Now, I received quite a few questions and some of them are pretty similar, so I'll just pick one. If you do have more follow-up questions, then leave them in the comment section and I'll be sure to create like a Q&A part 2, for example, if anyone is interested to know more. Right, so the first question: what course did you apply for at Cambridge? Now, I applied for the MPhil, or Masters of Philosophy in Development Studies. Second question: do you apply only to Cambridge or other universities as well for your masters? I did apply to multiple universities, actually 3 in total. I was considering 4 but ended up only applying to 3. The first one was Cambridge. I applied in December. Second one is Oxford. I applied to MPhil in Economics and that was submitted in January. And then I also applied to Sweden actually for Lund University, and that was for MSc in Innovation and Global Sustainable Development. That was a mouthful. And the fourth one that I was considering, I was actually considering this like a couple of days before I got my Cambridge acceptance, so I didn't end up applying, but I was considering Ewha Women's University in South Korea, and that was for the GSIS program focusing in the gender studies. Oh, and for Lund I also applied in January. The result will be announced in April, but I don't think I'll be considering Lund anymore just because I've already got my Cambridge offer. Next question: since when did you start your preparations? So I already mentioned this in my story video, but obviously that was in Indonesian, so for those of you English speakers who don't understand Indonesians, long story short, in a nutshell, and this is like a very simplified version of the actual story. Basically, I was preparing since, I would say, 2019. That was when I first got my placement job, and then an internship thereafter, and then some work within like organizations and the community, and I sort of built my profile from there. And also that's when I was doing my organizational, community service kind of experience, that's when I realized the niche that I want to go to. I applied to development studies and also economics at Oxford because I wanted to specialize in development economics for Oxford if I got into Oxford and I got the scholarship. Either way. And the reason for that was because of the organization that I was a part of that was focusing on advancing human capital development back in my home country, Indonesia. And yeah, through that experience, I would consider them like the preparation sort of period, because that's what prepared me really to write my essay, to really know what I'm looking for my master's. And then I started my application, like the actual application in the portal, October 2020 I believe, but I started writing the essay in like September 2020. So yeah, I would say the preparation took a few years. I would say a year and a half-ish. But the actual application only took me like a few months, so it was from October until December, because I think when you are already within the portal, you're just essentially like assembling all the things that you already have, like your CV and your personal statement and other things. But if I can just extend this long story short just a little bit more, it's actually a result of all the failures that I have experienced so far in life, which had really allowed me to like learn how to deal with failures and how to avoid failures, I think. But yeah, befriending failures and at the same time not really expecting them. That makes sense. What are the requirements to apply to Cambridge? So I'm only speaking for the master's application. It really depends on the course that you're applying to, just like any other universities really. But for my specific course, MPhil in Development Studies, they are asking for your CV, obviously, personal statement, and the question was, I'll put it in the screen because I forgot. And then they also ask for your transcript, so the transcript from your first year to like the latest one that you had. And then you would also need IELTS or TOEFL. I think they only allow IELTS. I'm not too sure because basically because I graduated from like a university that uses English for most of their teaching, I am exempt from that. And then you also need to submit details of 2 recommenders or referees, and for these I actually asked my professors to write me recommendations. Also for your transcript, it's important for you to, well, achieve the highest score that you can, obviously, because I think when it comes to Cambridge and Oxford and other top elite universities, their acceptance rate is so low. I mean, it's 20% for Cambridge, not as low as like Harvard or Stanford, obviously, but it's so low that just imagine if 100 people applied to this course, only 20 will be accepted. And among those 100, you could already expect that the people who actually apply already exceeded the bare minimum that they set. You really don't want to be in the borderline, I think. You don't want to disadvantage yourself with that. So yeah, for transcript and for like your university academic career, I really just recommend you to do your best. Okay, another question that actually popped up a lot is, do you get any scholarship? And the answer is, I don't know. I'll be only hearing back from them regarding my scholarship application towards the end of April, so I still don't know if I will be getting any scholarship. I'll be updating you guys if I do get one. But if you're wondering about like scholarships for Oxford and Cambridge in specific, or in this case Cambridge in specific, especially for master, for my case I actually applied to 3 different scholarships but under the same umbrella. So in Cambridge you have this thing called Cambridge Trust Scholarship. So in your application portal you can actually tick that you want to be considered for that scholarship, and within that scholarship you actually have like a lot of like different types of scholarship. A lot of them actually depends on the college of your choice. So I actually chose Churchill College for my first choice, and then Peterhouse. I actually got into Churchill, and the reason why I picked Churchill as my first choice, I'll be explaining it a little bit more in like other videos about the collegial system if you don't understand. Just you don't have to think about like this naming like the colleges and everything, but basically I applied to 3 different scholarships: Great Scholarship, Churchill Scholarship, and Cambridge Trust Scholarship, all within the Cambridge Trust umbrella. You also have other scholarships for Indonesians. I know that we can apply for Chevening or LPDP scholarship, but that would require you to go home right away after you graduate, and because I still don't know what I want to do after masters, I am considering PhD, but I don't know, right? It's a big commitment and I don't want to say like, yeah, I want to do PhD now. So that's the main reason why I didn't apply for like LPDP or Chevening, because it requires you to go home right after. I don't think I want to make that commitment at this point in my academic career. Okay, so another question was, if you applied to Cambridge, sorry, this is written in Indonesian, I have to translate it. If you are applying for a master's degree, do you still need to present your A-level certifications? And the answer is no. I graduated from like a normal school, like a non-international school back in Indonesia, and I didn't have A-level, IB, or whatever. When I moved to the UK, I also got into a university that accepted my qualification that was not A-level or IB. And yeah, I didn't need to attach my A-level details in my master's application. Okay, a really good question. Again, this is in Indonesian, so I'm gonna translate. For your essay writing preparation, okay, sorry, my English is failing me today. Okay, this person was basically asking what are the resources in terms of books or journals did you study to prepare for your essay? When you apply to Oxford and Cambridge, you want your essay to be academic. So it can't just be like your personal sort of like view on things. You also have to input a lot of views from theorists and from experts. And I didn't do that in my Cambridge one. I cited one quote from a professor. His name is Dr. Hajun Chang. His books I have read previously, and he was actually the head of that department, and so I think that kind of helps. And so my suggestion for those of you who are looking to apply and are currently preparing for your essays, yes, reading is important. You want to read relevant journals and books to the course that you want to apply to. And what I suggest is first look into the most cited books or journals for that specific area that you're interested in. And you can also look into the professor that is actually teaching that course. See if you can find any of his or her books or journals and read them and really understand them and try to convey that in your essay. Okay, actually, I have a few books to share. For my specific course, as I mentioned, I read Dr. Hajun Chang's book. So these are the two books that I read of his. It's Kicking Away the Ladder and also 23 Things They Don't Tell You About Capitalism. And actually in my first year, I also read another book of Dr. Hajun Chang, which was User's Guide to Economics. And this one as well for my Oxford application, which is Price of Inequality by Joseph Stiglitz. Yeah, I think, you know, because I read a lot even before I applied, it already helped me. For Oxford, I think I did like more of a full-blown, you know, like proper academic personal statement, and I'm really proud of the essay. Even if I don't end up getting in Oxford, that is still one of the best essays that I've made in my entire life. And yeah, you just need to read a lot. I'm grateful that I have cultivated the habit of reading even before I had the thought of applying. For those of you who already have the thinking, you know, of really applying to these universities, start reading the kind of books and journals which are related to the courses that you want to study. Also, another tip for choosing book, you could actually go into like the course website and look at the recommended reading list, and you can just like read from those. Also, another book not really related to the academic part of writing personal statement, but this book really helped me in terms of braving myself to apply, because I know like applying to Oxford and Cambridge just seems so impossible. It seems, you know, like such a dream for a lot of people, and I think this book really just opened my eyes and opened my mind in like just understanding what I'm capable of. And this is like the book that made me really fearless in terms of making mistakes and befriending failures. And I think it's really important for you guys, if you are in the process, you know, if you are in this sort of journey of, you know, trying to reach for your dreams, failures I think is really inevitable. It's you'll encounter it along the way, and it's really the matter of how you react to that failure. It's the same as the saying that says, you know, you learn to dance in the rain, something like that. So yeah, I mean, if you also want to just start easing yourself into the habit of reading, I would recommend this book because it's just it's easy to digest. It's written in a very conversational manner. Definitely highly recommended. Right, sorry guys. Right, next question. What would happen if what would happen if Cambridge declined your offer? Are there alternatives of your pick? So like I said, I applied to Oxford, Cambridge, as well as Lund University. So my choice would be, well, I mean, if I got rejected by Cambridge, then Oxford will be my next choice. If they accepted me, still don't know. But if those failed, then my plan was to move to Sweden and study in Lund University. And if Lund University also rejected me, then I would have gone to South Korea, to Ihwa. So yeah, so my first choice would definitely be Cambridge, and then Oxford. No, actually Cambridge and Oxford, they are like the same. They're like, I really can't choose between them two. The deal breaker would be the scholarship, but if scholarship is out of the equation, meaning either I get both or I didn't get both, I'll definitely go for Cambridge. Main reason was because I really like the course and that's where I want to specialize in, and for Cambridge it's only 1 year, for Oxford it's 2 years. Net it's like more expensive if I go to Oxford, and yeah, I would rather like just do like a 1 year program, if that makes sense, because like I was considering PhD. If I were to progress to PhD, I don't want to like quote-unquote waste another year. Not that a year of studying is any waste, like it's not a waste, but like, you know, like I don't want to spend another year for a master's degree. Okay, there's actually a lot more questions that I couldn't cover in this video, but like one of the most asked questions that I didn't get to actually like dissect was the personal statement. If you want to see that content on how to write a good personal statement and me reading out my personal statement potentially, let me know in the comment section. Like this video and share it as well with your friends. I hope this video has answered your questions, and if not, leave them in the comment section and I'll do like a Q&A part 2 excluding the personal statement bit, because I really want to make that like a proper standalone video, not like a part of a Q&A, because it's pretty long. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your day and thank you so much for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.